All right. What is going on, the Catch fam? Welcome to tonight's live stream. Going to be a fun one. We are doing an incredibly far too early 2022 NFL fantasy football mock draft. I'm super excited for this one, guys. Super excited. So hit that like button on the way in. Make sure you're subscribed if you are new to the Catch. Go ahead and join the Catch family today and get in that live chat, man. Let's have some fun tonight. Not only are we doing an incredibly far too early, way too early mock draft for 2022, we are conducting it with you guys, with the Catch fam, with our subscriber base. This is going to be an absolute blast. So, probably going to kick this off around 8, but I am going to, probably a couple minutes past 8 to see if I can get a couple. We need 2 more spots. So, let me see. I'm going to make sure that I get the invite link put into the description. Well, not the description, but into the live chat as well, so you guys can hop in here. We're going to try and get 2 more spots filled, and then we're going to get rolling. So this is going to be fun, man. I'm super excited for this, man. Just appreciate you guys wanting to get this put together, and appreciate you guys wanting to be a part of this. So like I said, we need 2 more spots filled. There we go. We've got the invite in the live chat. Go ahead and hop in here, and let's get this thing going. We're going to try and kick off at 8, but it might be a little bit closer to 8:10, 8:15 or so. Yeah. Aaron Reborn, what's going on, bro? Ronald, what's up, man? Appreciate you guys being here tonight. So yeah, we're going to try and get this filled. And I am going to randomize the order at the end. So just claim a spot, and then we'll all pick from a random spot. Spence, what's good, bro? What's going on, man? Appreciate you being here, man. I'm excited for this. Super excited. We did a mock draft last night, and I was extremely tired. Felt like the first 2 rounds were fine. After that, it was like a total mess. Itachi, what's going on, bro? Appreciate you coming by and dropping a like. Appreciate you always bringing good energy to the Warzone streams as well that I drop into. So appreciate you coming out, man. Appreciate you dropping that like. Much love your way, bro. Appreciate that support, my dude. Spoke with the cat. What's up, bro? We made it. Let's do it. Spence, if I don't get 12, swear to God. Ronald, why are people picking spots then? It's just the only way for us to all get in here. I mean, if you guys, truly want it. Oh, we're filled up. We're filled up. If you guys truly want it the way it is, that's fine. That was fine. That's fine. I mean, we can draft from these spots. It's just the only way to join is to quote unquote claim a spot. If you guys want it to be in the order it is, then I'm fine with that. But whatever you guys want to do, we can either draft from these exact spots, or we can do a random order, whatever you guys think is best. Yeah, I don't care. Real drafts for random. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. We're full. That was quick. Yeah, that was quick. Holy crap. Itachi, try. Good vibes, my guy. 100%, bro. Really do appreciate you coming by. Have a great stream. Hey, appreciate that, my dude. Phase 10 foil. By the way, I'm in Rico 10. Yeah. It will be a little bit confusing, of course, whenever we do something like this and you guys don't have your YouTube names. It's always confusing for me to figure out who you guys are, but it's all good at the same time. It's all good, man. Doji, plan was to randomize it. Go ahead. All right, cool. I just don't want you guys getting upset. All right. We're going to wait until 8 p.m. to kick this thing off. I might wait, 1 or 2 minutes past to try and make sure everyone's in here. Yeah, just to make sure everyone's got a shot to get on here. We'll wait till 8:05 and see what happens. I want to make sure everyone has an opportunity to get in here as well. So, man, this should be fun. This should be a lot of fun, man. I hope you guys are excited. Like I said, I appreciate you guys getting this put together with me, man. Just appreciate you guys. We kind of started trying to plan this yesterday, and we just didn't really. I just saw Spencer's comment. We couldn't really get enough people, so I decided just to delay today and make a community post, man. And you guys hopped on this super quick. So I really do appreciate that, man. Is a dynasty mock or redraft? Just a regular, a redraft. I'm sorry. Dicer is Trip McKinley. All right, I'm gonna try my best to remember this. It's gonna be hard, but hey, we'll be good either way. Kyle, what's good, bro? What's going on, man? Good to see you. The Catch 18 is my username on Sleeper. Ronald redraft, yeah, absolutely. Mark, what's good, bro? Good to see you, man. Appreciate you coming out tonight, having a little fun with us, man. Appreciate you being here, man. So yeah, we'll wait a couple more minutes here, and yeah, I'm super stoked for this, man. I'm super stoked for this. It's gonna be fun. I think Steven and I are gonna try and potentially run another one of these potentially next week. So we'll get you guys updated on that. I know Steven wants to hop in on one of these as well. Look at the cat. Thanks for the invite. Absolutely, bro. Also, there's absolutely no way to know who does well or not. We can revisit this at the end of next season, Ronald. Can you random the order before you start? Yeah. I'll go ahead and do that. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, draft settings. Draft order. Randomize. Oh my gosh. That was the exact pick I did not want. And Spencer still got 12. Man, I'm telling you, the number one overall pick is haunting me. It is haunting me. Absolutely haunting me. It destroyed me this past year, Christian McCaffrey. Dicer, I'm super stoked. Me too, bro. Once a week so we can practice. Yeah, absolutely, Ronald. We love to do that, bro. Ronald BS, I know. I got 12. Let's go. Yeah, you got 12, bro. Rigged, I know. Of course, I get number one. I don't want number one is the thing. I would like anywhere between 6 and 12 is where I prefer to draft from, and closer to 7 or 8, so I can get an early second round pick, man. You're all screwed, Spencer. I mean, Spinning likes that number 12 pick, man. I went from 7 to 6, and that is the two I was choosing between. Perfect. JT number 1, what's up, Made for TV? Good to see you, bro. Number 1 sucks. 12 is the best spot. Yeah, I do not like number 1. All right, guys, let me know in the chat. Give me a little thumbs up if you guys are ready to go, because I can see for some of you guys, the green dot is there. For some of you guys, it's coming and going. So I don't want to start if we're missing anybody, but we weren't planning to start until 8 p.m. So I'll give it a couple more minutes. Here. 10 and 12 are the best. Got number 2. Hey, it's me and you, Smokey, at the beginning. I don't like 12 any more than 1. I like to be right in the middle. They have the same issue. The long way it hurts. It does hurt. So I guess I need, 11 thumbs up? Thumbs ups? Thumbing ups. Ups of the thumbs. And just so you guys know, if you don't already know, which I think all of you do know, very repetitive sentence there. Obviously, this is going by 2021 rankings. It's the only way to do it. So there will be players worth drafting far down in the rankings. So make sure you guys are using a queue. Make sure you guys are going through, searching names, doing whatever you need to do, so we can try and make this as realistic as possible. But I'm sure you guys all know that we have to go by 2021 rankings. So, yeah. It should be set 2 minutes per pick. I feel like that's pretty standard. The roster is set up here. You get 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, tight end, flex spot, wide receiver or tight end, kicker, defense, and then 5 bench spots. So 14 rounds total. I don't know how to do that, so thumbs up. Aaron Reborn, I'm excited. Me too, bro. The green dot for me is probably because I'm switching from YouTube app and Sleepers on my cell. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I've seen everyone kind of ding in like at least once. At least once. Time to build a God squad. I think everyone is here. All right, so you guys, we'll kick off at 8:05 p.m. We'll start drafting at 8:05 p.m. Yeah, I am probably just gonna snag JT to start this thing off. I will kill any suspense potentially. Dice, I'm gonna draft AB just for fun. Well, hey, I mean, last night we saw you kind of have, if you do it this early, you are kind of playing hypotheticals. And hypothetically, AB could be on another football team next year. So, it might not be the worst draft pick ever. Although, I mean, I don't know after what I saw today with AB, but we'll save the AB talk for another night. I got some Mickey D's coming too. A few beers, not a bad night. Let's go, Spence. Let's go. It's always with the Mickey D's here at the Catch Fan, man. Always with the Mickey D's. All right, man. I'm super excited for this. We got about 2 minutes till we kick off. We're gonna start right at 8:05. So, guys, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you guys get in that live chat. Have some fun with us tonight, man. Tucker City, what's going on, bro? Appreciate you being here, man. Appreciate you swinging by and hanging out. For everyone drafting, we're gonna kick off in 1 minute. 1 minute. Everyone, prepare your fingers. Ryan, AB is going to my Cowboys, replacing Gallup. One could hope anyway. Yeah, that'd be a good fit. That'd be a potential good fit. From a football perspective, it'd definitely be a good fit. Should I start Hurts? Depends on who else you've got. Bro. I mean, I'm a little worried. I mean, the Eagles don't have to win, but in terms of seeding, I believe that they want to win, or they at least want to move the Cowboys, or lower the Cowboys in seeding, right? But I would not be surprised if Hurts plays the whole game. On DD, or on DoorDash, there's a 10-piece meal for free. I got 13 cookie tote meal for $8, and I have a $4 tip. Wow. Spencer, just take over. John is waiting for each turn. He'll be telling you. Burrows as my other options are Carr, Jimmy G. Hurts isn't playing. Yeah, I like Burrow out of the bunch. I do like Burrow out of that bunch for sure. All right, boys and girls, let's get this underway. Our first 2022 full mock draft. Thank you guys so much for putting this together with me tonight. Thank you, Catch Fam. This is going to be an absolute blast. I will try my best to keep up with the live chat. I appreciate you guys being here, man. Thank you guys for getting this put together. And let's get rolling. Let's start it, baby. Are you sure you want to start the draft? Yes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Let me get a sip of water. Last week fantasy is garbage, just a toss-up. Hurst doesn't play, then start Minshew. Dallas missing a lot of key players. That's true. I like Burrow, man. How do you feel about Burrow? I think the Bengals are going to be playing pretty much full force. All right, I'm picking JT. Get ready, boys and girls. We're underway. We are underway. Whew. All right. So, yeah, as Ronald alluded to, we got Najee Harris second off the board. Burrow isn't playing, really? Neither team is starting the starters. Then Minshew's not an awful option. Not an awful option. Jimmy G's questionable, and Lance might start. Spencer Murphy's going to show up right when I have to pick. I already know. Carr has the most competitive game script there. So Carr might be an option. Hey, listen, I don't think that Najee Harris is an awful pick here. I mean, obviously, Eckler and Henry are kind of in the conversation, but I think that Harris and Joe Mixon are two backs that are really going to be taken early next year. Spot the Steelers fan. Hey, that's the best. I mean, that's why you want to do mock drafts with, other people, right? Because people draft with emotion, right? They draft with their gut. They draft players that they want, and the rankings don't really always come into play. They do for the most part. They're a big part of the draft overall, but overall, a lot of people just pick players that they want to pick. All right, so I'm a little afraid that Dried Ocean and Aiden might be late, but we'll just roll with it. We'll roll with it. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. I did try to make sure I commented and let you guys know that we're drafting tonight, not tomorrow night. Because I think some of you guys, I posted this last night. I think some of you guys may have saw it today, but I think I cleared up most of that confusion. Aiden's here. Okay. Sorry, I didn't see a little green dot. Dried Ocean out of time. He gets Saquon Barkley. So Barkley's off the board. That's kind of strange that it picked Barkley as an auto pick over like Kamara, Cook, McCaffrey, Eckler. Well, maybe not Eckler if it's going by last year's, but anyways. Yeah, how's at the top running back? Yeah, that's what I was kind of wondering. But hey, it is what it is, man. We'll keep rolling. Maybe Dried Ocean will hop in here. Looks like everyone else is in here. So how is Saquon that high? Yeah, I am a little. Cooper Kupp. Kupp is off the board going fourth. And now Derrick Henry going fifth off of the board. Hey, this is great. If we only have one person on auto pick and Dried Ocean still has time to hop in here as well. He may have done a queue. That's true too. Because and to my understanding, would have gone by the next highest ranked player. Are these updated at all? Because these are not what we had last night. Yeah, they are, because Michael Thomas is still in the top 15. Dalvin Cook going number 6 here. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be surprised if Kupp starts to go or goes in the top 5 next year at all. Hunter Renfro or Zeke this week? Ronald, how do I pick? Oh, sorry, you pressed the plus button. I would go Renfro for a better game script. I go Renfro. What's up, Deluxe Craig? Good to see you, bro. Especially if it's full PPR. I mean, it's going to be a competitive game. Eckler got to be a top 5 pick next season. Oh, absolutely. Ronald, I did not want Cook. Yeah, you hit the plus button to the left, all the way left of the player's name. Devante Williams taken. Yeah, I agree. Eckler is still available as a snag right now, man. Whoever gets Eckler gets him at a discounted price. It's fine. I would have taken Eckler. So, that's the thing with mock drafts. There's always some, asterisks floating around. So it's all good, man. We'll run plenty of these throughout the offseason. So it's all good, man. I mean, Cook's still not a bad pick. Is Eckler a better pick? I think so. But, hey, I think you still end up with a good squad. Another running back, we got Kamara falling to 9th. CMC taken 10th overall. And now, let's see. Running backs, we still got Zeke, Chubb, Mixon, Aaron Jones, Gibson. You still got Adams, Hill, Diggs, Jefferson available. Should I start James Conner and miss the fact that he's injured in the last week of the season and could be useless? Depends on who you can start over him, but he always gives you a chance to score. And the Cardinals should be in a competitive game script overall. Because I'm not mistaken, they can still win that division, right? If the Rams lose. So Cardinals are going to be trying to win, man. So I don't mind Connor this week. Damonte Adams off the board here with the 11th overall pick. Yeah, I mean, you take Saquon out of this equation, and I mean, I'm not going to be surprised this is what the first round looks like. Javonte, a little bit, contingent on whether Melvin Gordon's still with the Broncos or not. Joe Mixon off the board and Justin Jefferson, 2 very solid picks by Spencer the first and second round. A very good start to that team. Now I got to sit here and wait, man. Got to sit here and wait. Tyreek Hill off the board. So a little double receiver squad going there, man. Adams and Hill. Nothing wrong with that. Two absolute studs. Two absolute studs. DeAndre Swift off the board. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, top 5 back before the injury this past year. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at navigating Sleeper. Guys, just don't forget these rankings are completely off. Nick Chubb taken. Nick Chubb off the board. So there are going to be players very, very low in the rankings too. That's why 10 and 12 are the best spot to draft. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Start things off stacking 2 great players. Love seeing you guys doing it, man. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, man. Let's see who gets picked here. 5th pick of the second round. I took Devante. Him and Gordon is off the team. Do you think he's that good of a running back next year? Yeah. Top 12 is fine for me. I mean, I still like Mixon and Kamara ahead of him and probably Chubb as well. But hey, if you have the conviction, then I got nothing wrong with that for sure. Nothing wrong with it for sure. He's going to have a ton of volume next year. Stephon Diggs now off the board. The 5th pick of the second round. Am I the only one who hates early picks? No, I absolutely despise them. And I had one in this round or in this draft. So no, I despise them. You're not the only one, that's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, this past year in my personal league was like the first year where I ended up with one. Ooh, apologize about that, guys. Jamar Chase off the board. Great selection. I was surprised that he was still floating around. And there goes Zeke. I think Zeke's a great value there. A great value there. I mean, Zeke still quietly has had a very, very good season. Yeah, Jamar Chase, a phenomenal value there. Deebo Samuel off the board. I got to start thinking about where I want to head with my next pick. And I have no clue, to be honest. No clue. I did like no preparation for this. Same as last night. So AJ Brown, DK Metcalf back to back off the board. Off of the board. And there goes CeeDee Lamb. Oh, it's my turn. It's my turn. All right, I'm going to pick a receiver. There's a couple that I like. But I'm going to go Keenan Allen. And then I'm going to take the first tight end off the board. I'm going to take Travis Kelce out of here. All right. I have David Montgomery, Devin Singletary, Josh Jacobs, James Conner, Sony Michel, Zeke, Daryl Williams, 3 running backs, 2 flexes. Receivers are Adams, Johnson, Diggs, Allen, Renfro, and DK. 3 running backs, 3 receivers, 2 flexes. Okay. Yeah, Monty, Singletary, and Connor or Williams. I see them kind of in similar fashion. Then I think you play 3 of the receivers. Or excuse me. So go Monty, Singletary, Connor, Sony Michel, and Williams. I would play 5 running backs. 2 receivers. I would go Adams just for the first half. And then I would go Diggs or Renfro. A lot of good players, though. Kelce took a massive hit Yeah, I think he'll still next year kind of land closer to the first round. Be gone, Satan. Dried Ocean. Oops, my bad. I'm here. You're good, bro. You got Saquon Barkley for some reason. I gave you Saquon. I don't know why, so I feel bad. Is this going to be an actual league? No, this is just for fun. Just for fun. Deontay Johnson off the board. I like that pick a lot, man. Like that pick a lot. I was looking at him, but I went with Keenan Allen because of the stable quarterback play over Johnson, but I got nothing bad to say about Johnson. Nothing bad whatsoever, man. Nothing bad. Antonio Gibson, I think a good pick here in the third round as well. Yeah, Dried Ocean. I don't know why I gave you Saquon, but it did for some reason. So I'm sorry. You beat me to Allen, says Smokey the Cat. Yeah, I went with the stable quarterback play, Mark Andrews off the board, a good pick here in the third round. I think whenever Kelsey gets picked next year, you're going to see Andrews naturally get selected pretty shortly after. I really do. And you might, in some leagues, you might even see Andrews get picked before Kelsey the way he played this year. I don't think the ADPs are updated yet. Yeah, they're not. But at the same time, I was surprised because it didn't even have Saquon in front of half the other players available. So I don't know why I gave you Saquon, but hey, it's all good, man. We're going to run plenty of these throughout the offseason. So, Saquon could have a good year next year. Is he worth the third pick? No, but it's all good, man. We're going to run plenty of these. Have plenty of opportunities for you guys to get in these, man. All right, Josh Allen, the first quarterback taken off the board. I traded Mixon and Andrews for Kelsey and Keenan Allen. I've been loving the trade because Mixon's been asked every game except for one since I did the trade, but Andrews immediately becoming a beast. Yeah. I wouldn't mind having Andrews on my squad ever, man. Yeah, obviously with the amount of running backs you have, I don't think that hurts you too bad. Speaking of running backs, we've got Montgomery off the board here. Listen, let's take a look at Montgomery, what he did this past year, okay? Listen, when healthy, okay, full PPR, 18, 10, 7, 22. Yeah, it's a game he got hurt. It was that 22-point game. 10 points when he came back against Pittsburgh, 7, 10, 28, 14, 10, 23, 21. I think that the Bears offense will improve next year as Cam Akers is taken here. Potentially a little bit of improvement to the quarterback play of Justin Fields, a little bit more consistency, a better coaching staff. So I don't have a problem with Montgomery in the third round. I think he's a very good selection there. Listen, whoever ends up being the number one running back for the Rams next year is going to see an insane amount of volume. So a lot of people at this point in time even believe it's going to be Cam Akers, and I think that's fine. I got a little bit of hesitancy around him coming back from that injury, but man, if he ends up being a home runner, I mean, if he can bounce back from the injury, man, Akers is going to be an absolute monster next year. Chris Godwin taking off the board. The hypothetical here is the fact that Chris Godwin is set to be a free agent. I think if Brady's still there, it's probably unlikely that they let Godwin walk, but Godwin may be on another team next year. We'll see. But hypothetically, let's say he's with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's absolutely 1,000% worth a third-round pick next year. Probably, could argue, a second-round pick. I mean, looking at the rankings, with him being on IR, missing, how many games has he missed here? Is Mike Evans taken right after Godwin? So Godwin's missed 2 games since being placed on IR, and that still makes him on the season so far. Wide receiver 12, if you end your season, obviously week 17, he is wide receiver 12. If you play through 18, he's probably going to drop a little bit. Hybrid Harry, what's going on, bro? Smash that like button for you, buddy. Have a great stream. Hey, appreciate you coming by, man. Guys, if you're in the war zone, make sure to go check out Harry's content, man. He does some great streams, some great Warzone streams. Appreciate you coming by, man. Appreciate you hopping in here and showing some support. Seth, what's going on, man? Saquon third, Javonte seventh. Saquon was an accident. Dried Ocean accidentally got put on auto pick. So, yeah, that was a mistake. But, yeah, Aiden having some faith in Javonte Williams if Melvin Gordon hypothetically is no longer a Bronco. And, hey, if you have conviction, man, I ain't against it, man. J.K. Dobbins off the board. Yeah, I think that Dobbins will see enough volume next year to become a someone you can take comfortably in the third or fourth round. Jalen Waddle going to the first pick of the fourth round by Spence. Right after that selection of J.K. Dobbins, I do like me some Jalen Waddle next year as Patty Mahomes gets selected here. Let's take a look at Waddle, who started week one, a great performance, 16, then a little bit of inconsistency, right? 7 in week 2, 16 in week 3, 6, 5, 29, 15, 6, 16, 10. And this kind of second end of season stretch surge. He went a little bit crazy here. 20, 28, 18. Did not play in week 15. Then 25 against the Saints. And then a very disappointing performance in most of your guys' fantasy championships against an awful, awful Tennessee secondary. But nonetheless, still a phenomenal rookie season overall, looking at the big picture. D-Hop taken here in the third round as well. I got nothing bad to say about selecting D-Hop, but I do think that his draft stock will fall a little bit next year just because of this kind of mid-season, end-of-season injury. And even when he has come back from that quote-unquote injury, we're not quote-unquote injury, but quote-unquote has come back from the injury, right? I don't think he was fully healthy when he was playing in week 13 and 14. He has been, he's just been disappointing, right? Because he probably drafted in the second round last season. But really, when you look at what he did when healthy, you take away that scratch of a game week 3, then a poor performance in week 4. He's had a very DeAndre Hopkins-like season. So I definitely think he'll still be taken between the third and fourth round at worst next year. All right, DJ Moore off the board here in the fourth round, and then Scary Terry taken as well. Yeah, I got nothing bad to say really about DJ Moore's performance. If he could just have actual consistent quarterback play, yeah, once again, you're going to see some inconsistencies here, especially in the middle of the season. But don't forget what he can do with consistent quarterback play. We saw at the beginning of the season, he looked like one of the best selections in, all of 2021 fantasy football drafts at the beginning of the season. But man, just extremely inconsistent play. I mean, remember how good Sam Darnold was at the beginning of the season? Yeah, look what happened when that got wiped away. All right, I got to start thinking about where I want to go in my next pick. And I have not thought about it at all. So I should probably try and figure that out. Without giving it away to you guys who can all see my screen, but are probably looking at your own screens. So, yeah, and Scary Terry, I mean, another guy that I think will improve next year, right? If he can get some consistent quarterback play. I mean, once again, look at the beginning of his season when Taylor Heineke at the beginning of this season was playing very, very good football at the quarterback position, right? 10 points, 27 points, 10 points, 30 points. Then you see a little bit of inconsistency, 8-6, a monster game versus Green Bay, 25-6. Then a little bit of bounce back after the bye, 11-21. Then a lot of inconsistency, a decent performance against Darius Slay Company in week 17, 13 points, but a lot of inconsistency, but also a lot of inconsistency at the quarterback position for Scary Terry as well. Leonard Fournette taken off the board here. I think he's a great fourth round selection. I was eyeing him myself, followed by Kyle Pitts, who, listen, man, Kyle Pitts, I got nothing bad to say about, man. Nothing bad to say about. A phenomenal rookie season, in my humble opinion, for Kyle Pitts. Really, when you break down the stats, I know from a fantasy perspective, it seems inconsistent. And yeah, he did not score many touchdowns this year. And by not many, I mean one. Yeah. Guys, the Saquon Barkley pick was an accident. It was an accident. It was not meant to happen. Najee second, Cup over Derek. Yeah, man. If you got the conviction, go with it, man. All right, we see Michael Thomas, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Calvin Ridley all off of the board here. Who will be picked next? The anticipation is killing us. It's killing us, man. Yeah, I got to think of a receiver to draft, man. Please don't take because I got to pair Keenan Allen with someone right now, man. But I do have Kelsey. That's kind of helping me. Christian Kirk, a great pick. I think Kirk's going to be a really solid pick next year as well. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pick up my boy James Conner, and I'm just going to play this like he's getting re-signed to the Cardinals. Obviously, a phenomenal year for James Conner. You guys know how much I've loved him. And then I'm going to pick up T. Higgins, get some explosive play at the receiver position to pair with Kyler Murray as well. There we go. Kyler Murray. Let's see. How many quarterbacks do we have off the board? Okay. So we got Josh Allen, Patty Mahomes, and Kyler Murray all off the board as Eli Mitchell gets selected by Dried Ocean. I think that's a great pick right there. That's a fantastic selection. All right. I'm going to start. I'd like to build a queue, but I feel like you guys are going to be a little sneaky on me. I'm just going to start taking a look down here. Dawson Knox off the board. I think a great selection there. Got nothing bad to say about picking Dawson Knox. I think Josh Jacobs is a phenomenal value here as well, man. Phenomenal value. I was wondering when Amari Cooper was going to go. Let's take a look at Coop. Let's take a look at Coop, man. All right. Week 1, remember how crazy of a game, the Cowboys and Buccaneers in general had in week 1, but 38 fantasy points week 1 for Amari Cooper, and he gets some inconsistency, 2 weeks straight of 5 points. Week 4 and 5, about 15 points, 10 against New England, 25, and a very inconsistent stretch. This is the problem with Amari Cooper. This is what he seems to do every single year. You get an injury-plagued, inconsistent stretch at some point in the season. And then, even you look at the second half, weeks 13 through 17, you get 6, 16, 2, 21, and 10. These are still very good performances if you were to take a medium, but at the same time, you just get a lot of inconsistent play and a little bit of injury sprinkled in. But we know when Cooper's on, he's on. So, I think a fifth-round selection for Cooper is great, quite frankly. Quite frankly, I got nothing wrong with that, man. So, all right, guys, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure if you're new to the channel and you're tuned in, you join the Catch fam. You hit that sub button down below. Darren Waller still hanging around. Man, what are we going to do with Darren Waller next year? Big question mark. 26. Remember week 1? Gosh, how many targets did he have in week 1? Can I look at that? No, I can't, of course. Oh, it's right there in front of my face. 19 targets in week 1. He looked like the guy that we went out and drafted in the second and third round for a reason. And then, week 9, 11, but outside of that, no more than 8 targets for the rest of the season, which is not bad, but gosh, happened to our boy Darren Waller this year. Really look at the beginning stretch, 26, 11, 10, 15, 8, 10, sat week 7, a bye week, 16, 6, 18, and 5. He's still going to do Darren Waller things next year, man. Really, when you break down the numbers when healthy, there's nothing wrong with that at all. And there goes Darren Waller. A big run at the tight end position. We got Hawkinson, Goodert, and Waller all off the board after the selection of Michael Pittman. Wow. Big run at the tight end position. There goes Kareem Hunt. I think that's a pretty solid pick in the 5th round as well, man. And really, after this top kind of tier at the tight end position, we got Kelsey, Andrews, Pitts, Kittle, Knox, Hawkinson, Goddard, Waller. And you start to move into kind of the next tier, I would say. You got Noah Fant, Mike Gesicki, Pat Freiermuth, Hunter Henry, Gronk up there in age, Zach Ertz. There's still some decent tight ends sprinkled in there kind of late, as Justin Herbert taken by Spencer there. I was able to trade Waller and AB for Tay because how good he was early. Yeah, absolutely, man. Are you going to do another one of these? I want to get on one. Yeah, we are going to run another one at some point as well. We might be running another one next week, but we're gonna try and do one on a weekly basis. I think just to keep everyone updated. Just have fun with you guys. Something interactive we can do. So look out for community posts. If you're not part of the Discord, guys, Discord link is in the description down below. Completely free to join, and that's kind of the best way to communicate, getting together for one of these things. But look out for community posts, and then, hop on the Discord as well. So Travis Etienne and James Robinson, both off the board back-to-back, both of the Jacksonville Jaguars running backs. Who will they deploy on a consistent basis next year? I do not know. Is Robinson talented enough? Yes. Is ETN talented enough? Yes. So that makes things quite difficult. Got to play some hypotheticals when we're drafting this early. As Chase Edmonds is off the board. A-Rod off the board. I was kind of wondering when A-Rod was going to be selected. I really was. Really, truly was. Yeah. I think Aaron Rodgers consistently year after year, we let him slide into the 6th round, into the 7th round, into the 8th round. Just really, he gets no love. No love. All right, Dak Prescott taken here. Joe Burrow taken here. I think Burrow's a steal, man. Miles Sanders off the board. I got nothing wrong with Miles Sanders. The amount or the volume that the Philadelphia Eagles running backs are seeing right now is absolutely crazy. So I got nothing bad to say about that pick whatsoever. Cordell Patterson still hanging around, boys. When does the patty get taken? When does the patty get taken? I guess I could pull up my roster right here. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Who is willing to draft the patty? That's what I want to know. Hunter Renfro, an absolute steal, man. That is the guy I was eyeing. Look at these stats by Renfro on the season. 13, 10, 18, 15, 11, 6, 12, 16, 17, 7, 21, 19, 27, 4, 13, and 20. A phenomenal year by Hunter Renfro. That is the exact player I was eyeing here. And now I got to make some decisions. Let's look at the consistency out of Devonta Smith. I don't know if I quite call it consistency, but I do like the direction that Smith is going. I think he's someone who could really step up next year, but another year under the belt with Jalen Hurts. So I like Devonta Smith at this point in the draft. Looking at the running back position, it has dried up quite quickly, like it always does. I feel pretty confident with JT leading the pack and with James Conner as a backup option as well. So I'm going to go ahead and go double receiver here. I'm going to take Hollywood Brown, as I do believe that he'll get back to that consistency next year. Hopefully, the consistency that we were seeing at the beginning of the season. And then there's a lot of different options to go with. I can go with another running back. Damon Harris is interesting. Go with another tight end. Go with the quarterback. Hunter Henry's hanging around. What quarterbacks are hanging around? Lamar Jackson's still hanging in the realms, but so is Jalen Hurts. I'm going to go ahead and snag up my quarterback. I'm going to take Jalen Hurts here, and I feel pretty solid about my team overall. Good quarterback, 2 good running backs, 2 good receivers, a good flex option, Hollywood Brown, and a great tight end as well. So I feel all right there. Feel all right, man. Let's see. Let's get this view going. See, I don't want to cover anything up, man. I wish I could just kind of like minimize this, but not all the way. St. Brown and Carter still hanging around, says Kelvion. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, originally going into the 7th round, I was not thinking about picking a quarterback yet, but why not just snag him? Why not get it out of the way? I do think next season I'm going to wait until about the 7th or 8th round, maybe 9th to take my quarterback. Maybe even later. I mean, Brady's still available. There's some very good quarterbacks available left in this draft right now, but I think Hurts presents a lot of upside. So Brandon Cook's taken off the board, a great selection, a great value here as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at what he did on the season. I got 18, 22, 20, 3 great weeks start off the year, and then you got 9, 5, 17, 7, 20, and 11. And you get 3, 13, 8, 18. That huge performance week 15, 29 points. Did not play in week 16, and then 19 points in the fantasy championship. Overall, a very solid season for Brandon Cooks. Let's see if I can get this just right. Okay, it kind of works. You can kind of see the round that we're on. Allen Robinson taken off the board, followed by Amon-Ra St. Brown, followed by the Pounder and Cheese off the board. Listen, man, is Cordell Patterson potentially a sneaky value at this point in the draft? What are we going to see out of Cordell Pounder next year, who really fell off at the end of the season? But outside of that, man, a phenomenal season. I mean, yeah, sure, 8 points in week 1, but then 22, 16, 34, 18, 14, 18, 18, 4, 27, 12, 13. I mean, just a phenomenal season overall for Cordell Patterson. What do we see out of him next year? I mean, I just don't quite know, right? 607 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns, 547 receiving yards, and 5 receiving touchdowns on the year. Just a great year for him. I really like this pick here. I mean, some great players taken here: St. Brown, Carter, and I really like this pick of Elijah Moore as well. Someone who we really saw start to come on in the middle of the season, have some big performances. So I think he's a great pick overall. Ronald says, "Sure is, fools." Yeah, I mean, we got some good teams forming here thus far, which I'm not surprised you guys coming out. I like this pick of A.J. Dillon as well. I think this is a great selection. Mr. Sarcastic, what's going on, bro? Yeah, man, we're having some fun. Yeah, A.J. Dillon, obviously one of the best handcuff situations available. There's still plenty of good players hanging around here. Lamar Jackson still available heading into the end of the 7th round here. Very interesting. Very interesting. So Wilson still available. Tom Brady still available. Raheem Mostert. Plenty of good players. Or Henry. Got Gronk hanging out. Plenty of draftable players hanging around, man. Yeah, I do apologize that we have to go by, 2021 rankings. I know that kind of complicates things. As Damian Harris, a great selection taken off the board, followed by Devonta Smith, who I think is a phenomenal value at this point in the draft, followed by Julio Jones, who probably deserves to be drafted at some point, I suppose. But nothing wrong with taking Julio there. But yeah, I think Devonta Smith, a phenomenal value, followed by Tyler Lockett, who drastically has fallen in comparison to last year's ADP, right? And I mean, the worry behind Tyler Lockett is, what kind of value does he show in terms of not having Russell Wilson throwing him the football? So I'm not surprised that he fell to the 7th round here. Not at all. Not at all. Dicer, I'm sweating. Spencer, when you're done with your picks, man, let us know your thought process on Tyler Lockett next year. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad pick, but let us know your confidence overall in, in Tyler Lockett next year in general, if he does not have Russell Wilson throwing him the football. Yeah, I mean, and here's another big takeaway is Lamar Jackson's still hanging around. I mean, probably your, QB3? You probably had Allen and Murray ahead of him this past year. And I mean, really, just such an inconsistent year, lots of injury and sickness, all kinds of things. But you see the floor, 34 points week 2, 40 points against Indy in week 5, 32 against Minnesota in week 9. Just some phenomenal performances, but just some very disappointing performances on the season as well. Adam Thielen taken here by Spencer. I think that Adam Thielen is a great pick as well. I really do. Yeah, great pick. Adam Thielen, really an extremely consistent player this past year until he got hurt. I mean, he got a 7-point performance in week 4, 6 in week 5, 8 in week 9. Outside of that, at least 11 points or more with a ceiling of 30 points in week 1 against Cincinnati. I mean, really a great year up until that injury. I would count anything week 13 and past injured. I'm not even going to count week 16 as a non-injured game. So lots of injuries, lots of inconsistency, but when healthy, phenomenal. I think Robert Woods taken right after is a great selection as well, man. I really, really do. Someone who obviously kind of is quietly faded away, but listen, you take away, I mean, week 3, 6 points outside of that, 12 or 11 fantasy points or more in every other performance. Very similar to Adam Thielen, a veteran guy who's had an injury this year, but a phenomenal season when healthy. Lockett has a bunch of deep threat upside, which I like in the flex. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. I think the main concern is just who's going to be throwing him the football, right? I mean, I guess it could be Russell Wilson. Brandon Ayuk and Mike Williams taken back-to-back, 2 players who present a lot of upside, a lot of inconsistency, but I think this is the right time to take them, similar to a guy like Tyler Lockett. I mean, players that just offer a lot of upside that you can play in the flex, right? Followed by Sutton, which I think is interesting, man. Sutton's someone he could still step up, man. I mean, he still has some good fantasy performances, but man, if he just get him a stable quarterback, we know his ability, right? Devin Singletary, I think a phenomenal pick, the way he's finishing the end of the season. Can you trust him? I don't quite know, but if we can get a stretch like he's had over the past 4 weeks, he's worth drafting. I think this is the right point to take him. I love these 2 picks. Darnell Mooney, guy I've been eyeing at this point in the draft. Phenomenal pick at this point in the draft, in my opinion. As is Rashad Penny, definitely worth taking at this point in the draft as well. So I love both these picks, guys. I think these are great values. Here, the end of the 8th round, I think those are 2 phenomenal picks. 2 guys I had queued up, man. I'm not going to lie. So, yeah, I love both those picks, man. Love both those picks. It's going to start to get dicey, boys. It's going to start to get pretty dicey. We're going to have to do some to start stretching it pretty thin as Jerry Judy is taken off the board. One of my favorite players to pick last season in mock drafts. Obviously, that did not pan out, but I do think that he could turn things around and have a very, very good year in 2022 as well. All right. Plenty of players to look at here. I am just scrolling all the way down to make sure that I'm not missing anyone. But it ain't very pretty, guys. It ain't very pretty. It has dried up quite quickly here. Quite quickly. So I'm just kind of scrolling around. I'm going to use these 2 to 4 minutes that I have with these back-to-back picks to my advantage and just make sure. I mean, Chris Carson hanging around, kind of interesting. Raheem Mostart. I mean, it ain't pretty. Ain't pretty, that's for sure. So let's look at the queue. I mean, I don't see anyone that I'm entirely against. I'm going to go ahead and pick up Ramondre Stevenson, try and get some more depth at the running back position because my running back position overall is definitely hurting. And I'm going to pick up another handcuff. I'm going to get Tony Pollard. Could have gone Alexander Madison. I think that they're both great selections, but I just need some running back value, some running back depth when I look at my team right now. Pretty much squared away at every other position. So I'll go ahead and take 2 handcuffs here. I'm not going to feel bad about it at all. I think that Williams of the Chiefs is a great pick here as well. Another great handcuff type situation. And Daryl Williams, I mean, while there's a lot of consistency, he is someone you can trust, right? That he'll see some pretty good volume overall in certain game scripts, especially if CH is not playing. My next pick won't be pretty, but he responded this year when I needed him. Oh, someone bit me to it. Which player was it? Real Goated, what's good, bro? What's good, man? Appreciate you being here. Good to see you, man. Yeah, so it's a little it's a little ugly at this point. Myles Gaskin gets taken here. I mean, there's still some good players taken. Trey Lance, I think, is a really good value here. Alexander Madison, I think that's a great pick. Is that Ronald? Yeah, it's Ronald. Great pick, Ron. I like that, man. But I still think that there's some good players hiding out here, boys and girls, I should say. There's plenty of value left in this little draft, a little mock draft that we threw together tonight. Man, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure if you're new and you tuned in, you are subscribed down below. Go ahead and join the Catch fam. I mean, when's Justin Tucker going to get picked? Dicer was Daryl Williams. Yeah, I think that Williams, I mean, in the 9th round is a good pick. I really do. Chris Carson taken. I don't have a problem with that. The 9th round. I mean, where else? Where is Chris Carson going to go next year? Right? The 9th round feels about right. Darius Toney hanging around. Justin Fields hanging around. Cole Kmet hanging around. We got all kinds of players available. All kinds of players available at this point in the draft. Cole Beasley. I think, I mean, in the 9th round, Cole Beasley is a great option. I don't have any problem with that pick at all. Not at all. Yeah, I mean, I am like scrolling all the way down. Where are we going to pick Deshaun Watson next year? That's what I want to know. What do you guys think about selecting Deshaun Watson next year? As Melvin Gordon gets, I mean, I think Melvin Gordon's a fair pick in the 9th round. I got nothing wrong with that. I have nothing wrong with that. And what am I saying? I mean, I am scrolling into the deep, dark depths. About Lil Jordan Humphrey, and I just don't think that. Ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna find anyone worth drafting. You guys run a great job, man. You guys are building some great squads. I'm gonna try and sit here and look through everyone's squads at the end, but I mean, everything you guys have done so far has been great. I mean, the Catch fam doesn't play around, man. There's still some sneaky players available. There's some players I didn't think would last this long, especially at the quarterback position. When I went and picked up Jalen Hurts, maybe I didn't need to. There goes Kenny Golladay. Not entirely against that at this point in the draft. Yeah, I mean, what can Melvin Gordon do with a different team? Will Melvin Gordon be on a different team? I mean, really, when you look between Williams and Gordon, Gordon's kind of been towards the end of the season. Devante made up for it, though. Devante ranks ahead of Gordon, but Gordon began the season, midseason, kind of the guy. As Gronk gets taken finally, man. Gronk, I mean, if healthy, still a buck next year, absolutely worth taking. I mean, just a phenomenal start to the season, about 45 fantasy points through the first 2 weeks, and injury in week 3, misses 4 weeks, right? Or 5 weeks, excuse me. Or no, he did miss 4 weeks. He just only had 1 target in week 8. And a bye week, didn't play week 10. Then he started doing wrong things again, right? 13, 19, 21, 11 between weeks 11 and 14. A little bit of a stump there, 4-3, weeks 15 and 16. Then he probably helped win you a fantasy championship in week 17. Still a very solid year overall for Gronk as Chase Claypool gets taken to kick off the 10th round. You know, I have a problem with that at this point in the draft. I think he's a pretty good selection. Do we know he's going to be throwing the football? No. Have we seen a lot of inconsistency towards the end of the year? Yeah, but I mean, we know what he can do. We know that big play ability as well for Chase Claypool. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty solid pick as we move into the 10th round. Still a lot of players worth drafting. There's one player who I'm not personally going to draft for a very specific reason, who I absolutely don't think should be available right now. There goes Antonio Brown. I mean, at this point in the draft, I don't think that's a bad hypothetical. Do I think AB will be on a team next year? I don't know. Who knows? Like, your guess is as good as mine, right? But at this point, I don't think it's unfair to draft him. I really don't. Yeah, there's one player sitting around that I mean, I might consider taking him, but I really there's a very specific reason that I don't want to take him. But we'll see. We'll see. We got plenty of time. You guys are flying through this draft, man. This is fun. This is a ton of fun. I cannot wait to run more of these with you guys throughout the season. This has been a ton of fun. All right, let's take a look here. There's not really a good way for me to pull up. Oh, you guys are in the chat. I'm sorry. I didn't see any of your guys' chats till now. I apologize. But yeah, not really a good way for me to pull up all the rosters at once. And I can't really see what's going on if I scroll all the way down. So I apologize, guys. But we'll try and keep most of what do we got there? Yeah, that's like rounds 4. And as Rashad Bateman goes, I think Rashad Bateman's a great pick here. He's a great pick here. I mean, so much hype going into the season for a lot of fantasy owners on Rashad Bateman. And, I do think that he lived up to that in terms of a rookie coming off an injury. And really towards the end of the season, outside of week 15, I mean, some very solid fantasy performances in the year. Week 14, 17 points, 12 points, and then 12 points in week 16 and 17, right? So a good season, I think, overall. And I think he's got definitely a lot of good things coming for him. Hunter Henry taken after that selection of Rashad Bateman, followed by the selection of Kadarius Toney. I mean, I love me some Hunter Henry. Is he touchdown dependent? Yeah. But what do we say all season? All tight ends except for 2 of them are touchdown dependent, right? It's just interesting to see the ways people value different players. Absolutely. You can close the draft board by hitting that arrow on the far right. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't really need the draft board open. So that's a good point. A little bit earlier in the draft, I did. At this point, I don't. Yeah, I think some of the best values we've seen so far, Michael Carter in the 7th round, I think was a steal. I think Mooney and Penny at the end of the 8th were great selections. I think Hunter Renfro in the 6th round is outrageous. I was praying he would fall to me with the 12th pick in the 6th round. Phenomenal pick. I think Jalen Waddle, end of the 4th, another really good selection. Adam Thielen to kick off the 8th round, I think phenomenal selection as well. Joe Burrow and Aaron Rodgers in the 6th round, very, very good picks as well. So definitely you guys are coming out to play. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the 7th round, a very safe pick as well. So yeah, this has been a great draft by you guys. Great draft. Obviously, Eckler fell to the 8th pick, but Ronald didn't know how to pick, so he probably wouldn't have been available. But and obviously we had the Saquon hiccup, which is no one's fault. But yeah, we've had a great draft so far. Russell Gage and Michael Gallup selected 2 very, very solid picks. I was hoping Gage would fall to me here at the end of the 10th. I think he's a phenomenal pick, especially at this point in the draft. Really, when we have seen him come into that wide receiver 1 type value, 16 points in week 7, 13 in week 8. There's some inconsistency there as well. I mean, he played in week 8. He played in week 8. If I'm not, yeah. And he played in week 10. A lot of inconsistency between week 7 and 10, but then 9, 18, 21, 10, 23, weeks 11 through 15. Then definitely disappointing end of season run there. 4 points and 8 points and week 16 and 17. But at the same time, I think that he's a great player, especially to take in the 10th round overall. Jacoby Myers, I think, is a great pick here as well. There we go. Our first kicker taken off the board. Someone's got to take Justin Tucker, right? We've been waiting for it all night. Someone had to do it. And I like that pick. Followed by the Freiermuth. Pat Freiermuth. Beautiful selection there, man. I got nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that. followed by Sony Michel. I was wondering when Michel was going to go, but obviously some turmoil when we're looking at the running back position. Listen, I'm just surprised that Tyler Boyd is still available. I mean, I don't want to pick him because I have T. Higgins. I think that I have to. I think that sometimes you just got to take the value, right? I have on my little queue here. There's my queue, boys and girls. Sorry. All right. There's some interesting handcuff situations. I'm gonna take Tom Brady. I'm gonna pick 2 quarterbacks, and then I'm gonna take Tyler Boyd. And yeah, there we go. I've got depth at quarterback. I've got depth at receiver. I feel like I've got 2 good handcuff situations, 2 solid running backs, tight end that I'm not going to start anyone over. And I feel like that's a pretty solid overall roster. And I still think that there are some good tight ends. If I wanted a second tight end, I think that there are still good handcuff situations. So I feel pretty good about this squad overall. I at that point, looking at who was available, I just went with value, and I think that Tom Brady and Tyler Boyd presented the best value. Tucker for the win, absolutely. Was stuck between Muth and Fan. I would lean Muth as well. You can use Boyd as a handcuff to Higgins. Yeah, Boyd was the player I've been referencing this whole time that I just didn't want to pick because I already had Higgins. But at that point, you just can't pass it up, right? Great value with Boyd. I was hoping he'd fall to me. Yeah, I mean, look at the stats, man. They're too good. I still think there's a lot of good players left, though. I still think there's a lot of good players. So you guys are definitely doing a great job, man. This has been an absolute blast. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you hit that sub button down below if you're new to the channel and you're tuned in. But this has been an absolute blast to you guys. I really do appreciate you guys getting this put together, man. This has been a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Yeah, I think that there are still a lot of players worth drafting, hanging around. But I only got room for 1 more player. And then I got to snag up a kicker and defense. So, but I think that there's a lot of players worth hanging around, man. So we'll see what happens. I'm pretty far down on the list. I'm at Chad Henne, but I will say that there's some players past Chad Henne worth taking a look at. I'm not even joking, man. I'm not even joking. Where do we draft Deshaun Watson next year is the question. Whew. I mean, I think that it's got to be pretty late on. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to try and scroll down as far as possible, which probably none of you guys want to see. So I'll probably just stop and we'll get the full draft board pulled back up. Yeah, because I don't think any of these. I mean, I tried to go pretty far down just to see who's available. I think that there's plenty of good players still hanging around here, man. Plenty of good players. All right, let me get this taken down. Oh, Dallas Cowboys defense off the board, as well as Zach Ertz. I think Zach Ertz is a great pick in the 11th round. Justin Jackson, a phenomenal handcuff. I had him on the queue as well. I mean, listen, if you're, it's obvious that Eckler deals with some injuries on a yearly basis. And I think that Jackson has proven he can be that guy. So I think Jackson, phenomenal handcuff to go ahead and snag up in the 11th round. Mac Jones, I got no hate for picking Mac Jones in the 11th round, man. No hate at all. Devante Parker, I think that's a great selection at this point in the draft. When healthy, we've seen what Parker can do, right? Look at the stats, weeks 1 through 4, 12, 9, 8, and 17. Nothing wrong there. When healthy in week 8, 16, but then a lot of injury. Missed weeks 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Week 13, 11 points. Week 15, 16 points. That stinker of a game versus New Orleans. No targets at all, and then 8 points in week 17. Definitely disappointing game there, but still, I mean, a solid overall year for Devante Parker, so I think he's a very good value at this point in the draft overall. All right, man. This has been an absolute blast. Absolute blast. How do you guys, let me know in the chat, how do you guys feel about your teams? How do you guys feel about your squads overall? I'm going to put on a hat. Give me some luck here at the end of the draft. Whew. I still think there's plenty of good players, plenty of draftable players left. I like my team all right. What do you guys think about my team? Give me, what are the criticisms of my team here? Let me know. I feel pretty damn good, AB, my squad. Oh, about my squad. I was like, AB on your squad? Wait. Other than my 2 auto picks, I love it. Yeah, I think everyone's put together pretty decent teams here, man. I mean, just the competitiveness of the Catch fam is for real, man. Uh-oh, time's up, Aiden. Juju on the team. What do we do with Juju next year? So, Dried Ocean, your 2 auto picks were Robinson and Saquon, right? So you got Metcalf, Gibson, Ridley, Mitchell, Odell, Robinson. Or were your 2 auto picks Metcalf and Barkley? Penny, Wilson, Fearmouth, Cowboys. Yeah, not a bad team. Running back other than Taylor, your running backs will be shaky. Yeah. And that's kind of the thing, man, right? Kind of my thought process going to next year is get a stud. And then what we saw this past year with running backs is handcuffs. And you just got to play the waiver wire with injuries. Like it's just tough, man. Maybe you can snag up 2 guys early, which I easily could have, right? If I didn't pick Allen, so I could have picked Gibson, Jones, Montgomery, Akers, Dobbins. There are plenty of running backs available, but I wanted to just get a solid wide receiver early while I could. And I felt like Allen or Johnson were the most solid options, but maybe I went a little bit too hypothetical, not knowing who was going to be throwing Deontay Johnson the football in 2022. But even then, I mean, Chris Godwin and Mike Evans both available too. So there are definitely other good receivers available. But yeah, you're not wrong. Running backs could turn a little shaky, but I still got faith in my boy James Conner. I feel happy with my team. My decision once the top 2 running backs were gone, I had to go Cooper Kupp for obvious reasons. Hey, man, you could take Cooper Kupp number 1 next year. I won't argue it, man. Metcalf was my auto. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was Metcalf or not, but that makes sense. Dang, I didn't realize it was my pick. Uh-oh. Sorry, Aiden. I was distracting you. It's my fault. But hey, I mean, you could see something out of Juju next year. Why not? All right, we got Spence up with 2 selections here. Two selections for Spencer. Yeah, we're going to start to see a lot of kickers and defenses taken. Some of you guys might forfeit a kicker or defense. That's something I talked about a lot last year in mock drafts was the potential to, when you draft, forfeit a kicker, forfeit a defense, especially if you stream a defense. And I did that in a lot of mock drafts. If there are certain players available, I just didn't draft a kicker because I knew I didn't really care about the position. So I don't know if any of you guys have that strategy at all, but yeah, it's definitely something you can consider. Logan Thomas, I think a very solid pick there to kind of give you some depth behind Gronk, Spencer. So yeah, I think Logan Thomas obviously banged up twice on the season, but still very good value. We know what he can do when healthy. Man, Noah Fant, such a disappointing season. But if you got George Kittle, I think Fant's a great tight end too. I mean, really, when you look at the season as a whole, it has not been that bad. Let's see here. 654 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns. I mean, not the same season as he had last year. He might come out, more touchdowns. If he gets, 29 receiving yards, he ties what he did last year in terms of receiving yards. 5 more receptions, but, a couple less targets as well. So Noah Fant, not a bad season, man. Even though I just cooked him, right? Pick a late handcuff and wait until the season starts to grab a D/kicker. Low risk, high reward. Yeah. I don't have anything wrong with that. Robbie Anderson goes here. Gus Edwards, I think, is a very good pick, Spencer, especially since you already have J.K. Dobbins. Robbie Anderson selected here. Man, still know the upside in Anderson from gosh, let's just look at 2020 in comparison to 2021. 1,096 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns. 2020 scaled that back all the way to 469 receiving yards. 2021, but interesting enough, he's had one more touchdown. But man, if he could have got, I mean, had 101 targets this year, 136 targets last year, 95 receptions last year, 46 receptions this year. I mean, this man was on fire last year. As Cole Kmet gets taken, I think Cole Kmet's a fine pick in round 12, followed by Tampa Bay Bucks, followed by Justin Fields, followed by Rojo. Yeah, I was really eyeing Leonard Fournette in the 4th round. Van Jefferson, Jarvis Landry, I think very fair picks in the 12th round. A lot of potential upside with those guys. So I got nothing bad to say about that, man. Jefferson kind of has fallen off at this point in the season. But gosh, I mean, he had 10 points in week 17. But still, I mean, look at that stretch of week 7 through week 14. 14 points, 11 points, 7, 8 points, 18 points, 16 points, 14 points. I mean, we know what he can do, man. Does Robert Woods come back? Yes. Is Odell there? We don't know, but still. Jarvis Landry, I mean, a lot of inconsistency, a lot of injury, but presumably, whether it's Baker throwing the football or not, Jarvis can be your number 1 guy, so I got nothing wrong with that, man. J.D. McKissick, I think a very good handcuff at this point in the draft. I got to start thinking about my next pick. I got a couple guys queued up here. Got a couple players queued up. Samaje Perine taken. I'm going to take Chuba Hubbard. So my turn to pick? Yeah, it is. Okay, just making sure. Maybe I'm not going to take him. Yeah, I'm going to take Chuba Hubbard, kind of just treat him as a handcuff here to Christian McCaffrey. Try and give me another little bit of wide receiver, or excuse me, running back depth there. Potential handcuff situation. Naheem Hines is kind of interesting here. But really, when you take away some of those big performances, not a lot going on there. Deonta Foreman's interesting too. Obviously handcuffed to our boy Derrick Henry. But I'll just go ahead and take the Bills defense. I'll go ahead and make it a true draft. I'll pick a kicker in defense. And that'll basically cap things off for my draft, man. So I feel all right about this roster. Why not? Got a solid quarterback, a backup quarterback, which I usually don't do, but I went with value there. I feel pretty solid about my receivers. I think Hollywood Brown can get back to what he was doing early on in the season. And even when you look at the end of the season, it wasn't that bad. It was just not nearly as good as the first part of the season. I believe in James Conner. If you don't, that's okay. But backing him up with JT, I feel fine about. And then I've got some very good handcuff situations with Ramondre Stevenson, Tony Pollard, and Chuba Hubbard. So I'm good with that. Then I like Tyler Boyd sitting on the bench too. And then I get Buffalo's defense. So I don't feel bad about this team really whatsoever. But obviously, I'm still willing to play the waiver wire at the defensive position. The Colts were the other defensive team I was looking at there. And still plenty of good kickers left. Will I take a kicker? Will I take a running back or receiver to end the draft? We can only find out. I think Devante Parker is a very smart pick in the 13th round here, followed by Daniel Carlson, who's had an amazing year. My next 2 picks about to be really good. All right, man. I'm waiting for it. Yeah, and the other equation here, right, is that we don't have any of the rookie players, obviously. So you're going to see, how many rookies get drafted per year? 6? 7? 8? No more than that, I don't think. Depending on how big your league is, right? I mean, some years might be 5, might be 4. Hard to say. But obviously there's no rookies in here as well. But I think for going by 2021 rankings, you guys have done a phenomenal job with this, man. When you guys have a second, go ahead and start looking at each respective team and what you guys think overall. And yeah, let's keep an eye on that as well. I think you guys did great. We'll do a breakdown of each team towards the end here. Yeah, Spence, I'm dying to see who you pick here, man. Yeah, at this point in time, which could definitely change because we got a long time until actual drafts, as Jamal Williams and the Niners defense are taken here in the 13th round. I think I'm going lighter at running back next year, man. I really do. Greg Zuerlein taken here, obviously a great pick the season he's had. Him and Carlson. I mean, two kickers definitely worth taking. Our kicker expert Steven would love those picks. Yeah. I mean, I think this is a pretty spot on draft. I mean, obviously the Saquon Barkley thing wasn't meant to happen for anyone listening who doesn't know that. But outside of that, man, I mean, you guys did great. You guys did great. I mean, I think this looks pretty realistic and, heading into next year. Obviously there's always going to be steals in drafts, people who go later than you think and things like that. But yeah. I mean, this draft board is everyone's on there. Hunter Renfro in the 6th round is such a steal, though, bro. Hunter Renfro is such a steal. Man, I was dying to get him in the 6th round. Dying. Yeah, it's definitely dried up out there. Let's see. Let's take a look. I've only got kickers picked up. All right, DJ Chark, David Johnson, Corey Davis, Mike Davis, Zach Moss, Naheem Hines, Tyler Higbee, Marvin Jones. There's still some players out here. Kind of worth taking. Sterling Shepard, James White, Trey Sermon, Darius Slayton. There's some interesting players hanging around. And who just got picked? Titans defense, followed by the Eagles defense. KJ Osborne, I think, is a sneaky player hanging around, guys. I just pulled up Drew Lock's face. I did not mean to do that. MVS is available. I'm trying to scroll all the way down. And maybe I'll end up helping one of these drafts. I don't think there's anyone that we missed. Like anyone who was ranked insanely low last year. I mean, outside of people who played due to injury. But yeah, I don't think anyone got left out that should have been drafted. I mean, I'm all the way down to LaShawn McCoy, Foster Moreau, but yeah, due to injury. Evan McPherson, Jordan Howard. Once again, injury involved there. Tim Tebow. On Treadwell, but once again, injuries. There's actually one player, yeah, I just thought of that you could argue should be. There's two players I found scrolling as far down as possible. Marquez Callaway, Donovan Peoples-Jones as well hanging around. Argue they should be drafted to some degree. I'm trying to go all the way down to Deshaun Jackson's hanging around. Scott. Just trying to find anyone of relevance. Marius Thomas, rest in peace. Jeez, why is he listed here? Mike Lennon. Shout out Mike Glennon. I mean, he's playing right now. Yeah, I think we're done scrolling. All right. Deshaun Watson gets taken by Spencer. Ooh, too soon with Henry Ruggs. Younghoe Koo gets taken. The Rams gets taken. Corey Davis gets taken. Tyler Bass. Will Lutz. DJ Chark. Robbie Gould. Yeah, okay. As we approach the last pick of the draft, I mean, Kendrick Bourne available, as well as Braxton Berrios and KJ Osborne, Sterling Shepard. You could treat Foreman like a handcuff to Henry. I think he's worth the pick. And then Tyler Higbee hanging out here too. So I didn't think that there are some actual good players hanging around here. Corey Davis, I mean, in the 14th round, I don't think is a bad pick. DJ Chark would have been my actual pick. Yeah, I think that Chark is worth picking too. Tyler Conklin was a good pick here as well. Although what is it, Smith? Not Ito Smith. Irv Smith could be back for the Vikings next year. Yeah, DJ Chark would have definitely been a solid pick there. Will Fuller off the board. If you can get healthy. Nothing wrong with that, man. And Nyheim Hines. So, like I said, I think that there are a couple players worth drafting still hanging around. I'll pick a kicker just to make it a true draft, but realistically, I would probably pick Kendrick Bourne or Braxton Berrios here. But I don't mind KJ Osborne or Sterling Shepard as well. KJ Osborne's interesting. Tyler Higbee is not a bad pick either. And then did Foreman get picked, or can I just not scroll up? Yeah, I think Deonta Foreman, someone else. Yeah, Deonta Foreman, someone you could consider as a good handcuff as well. So actually, here at the end of the draft, I think that there are a couple good players hanging around, but I just scroll pretty far down to get those or find those players. So yeah, I will go ahead and pick a kicker, and I'll pick Money Mac of the Cincinnati Bengals to end things off. What a total blast that was, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for getting this put together. Let's go ahead and take a look at each squad. And thank you guys so much for doing this, man. This was an absolute blast. We will be doing plenty of these in the off season. All right. Steelers 8519. You got Najee Harris. I don't mind Harris in the first round. If you have the conviction to pick him second, I won't argue it. Okay, CeeDee Lamb, Deontay Johnson, Christian Kirk, so 3 solid receivers. Kyler Murray, Dalton Schultz, Brandon Cooks, Jerry Judy, a lot of receivers on this team. But looking at the second half of this draft, I mean, Daryl Williams, Sony Michel, Samaje Perine, Devante Parker, and Nyheim Hines, lots and lots of handcuff value. Dalton Schultz and Zach Ertz, a nice little tight end duo there. So I think that's a team that could work out overall. Rusty draft for me. Let's please do this again. Need the extra practice. Absolutely, bro. Thanks, bro. Yeah. No worries, man. Dried Ocean, obviously the hiccup of the draft, but no worries, my dude. Just joined a little bit too late there. So Saquon Barkley taken first, followed by DK Metcalf. Those were 2 selections that were auto picks, but kind of a bounce back here. I still don't mind this team. Antonio Gibson, Ridley, and Mitchell, followed by Beckham, Robinson, Penny, Russell Wilson, Freiermuth. The Cowboys defense, McKissick, Carlson, and Will Fuller. So still a pretty good, solid squad overall. If Russell Wilson can work out there, I think that there's enough value across this team overall that, sometimes you just go and you start slinging at the running back and receiver position. You end up with a good waiver wire tight end and quarterback, or, Wilson and Freiermuth work out here, then, hey, this team could work out. So, moving on, we got Trip McNeely, Cooper Kupp, AB2 receivers with a ton of volume when healthy at the beginning of the draft here, followed by Aaron Jones and CH. Don't mind those picks at all. Followed by Dawson Knox and Matthew Stafford, a very good core roster, but I do love these bench players in Amon-Ra St. Brown and Darnell Mooney as well. So I think that adds a lot of good value to the receiver position there. Myles Gaskin, Jamal Williams, Justin Jackson, some good handcuff type running backs. Gaskin, not really a handcuff, but yeah, don't know who's going to be the RB1 there ever. So don't mind that. Then Justin Tucker, Pat's defense, and he got Conklin at the end of the draft. I don't think there's anything wrong with this team at all, man. Let's see. Enrico 10, face 10 full, right? So we got Derrick Henry, Deebo Samuel, Mark Andrews. I mean, 3 absolute studs when healthy on this draft from this current season, followed by Michael Thomas. You never know what could happen there. Josh Jacobs, Hunter Renfro, Cordell Patterson, Devin Singletary. I actually quite like some of the upside in this team. A little bit of boomer bust, but some great upside. Trey Lance and Money Mac Jones on this team. Jacoby Myers, potential stack there. Jarvis Landry, someone had to take him, right? Niners defense and Robbie Gould. So not an awful team at all. Let's see. Ronald, we have to know for Ronald, he wanted to take Eckler here. Couldn't find the button to select his pick, but no worries. I mean, I still think Cook is worth a top 8 selection, followed by Zeke. Lots of good RB value there. You know that Ronald was going to take Josh Allen, Kyle Pitts at the tight end position, as well as Amari Cooper, Cortland Sutton, Russell Gage, Devante Parker. You know Ronald was going to take Van Jefferson and DJ Chark. Some very, very good late round value at the receiver position, but lots of good late round value at the running back position. And Miles Sanders, the amount of volume the Eagles running back saw this past season was crazy. Michael Carter, an absolute steal in round 7, then a great handcuff decision picking up Alexander Madison on top of Dalvin Cook. A great squad overall there. Aiden started the draft off hot, went ahead and grabbed Javonte Williams, assuming that Melvin Gordon will not be on the Broncos next year. Don't mind that pick at all. If you got the conviction, go with it. Jamar Chase, an absolute freaking steal, unbelievable pick in the 2nd round, followed by David Montgomery and Leonard Fournette. I think this is a stud squad, followed by Michael Pittman and Joe Burrow. Tons of upside here in the second half of the draft. Elijah Moore, Mike Williams, Michael Gallup, Mike Gesicki. Juju is a big old question mark, but someone had to take him. Ronald Jones, a great handcuff situation too. Leonard Fournette, Titans defense, and Will Lutz. This is a good squad, man. I like that squad a lot. All right, Andrea ended up with Austin Eckler, Stephon Diggs, Cam Akers, Terry McLaurin. So you go RB wide receiver, get a good squad at those 2 skill position spots. And then he followed up with TJ Hawkinson and Dak Prescott. I mean, that's a solid start to a roster overall, followed by AJ Dillon, Brandon Ayuk, Chris Carson, Kadarius Toney, Raheem Mostert, Justin Fields, a good late round pick. I think Philadelphia Eagles defense and Tyler Bass, good kicker, good defense, a good all around even squad there. Lonzo 316 starting off hot with Kamara and Chubb, an absolute slap to the face week in and week out with the amount of upside those guys can bring. Godwin and Moore, 2 other phenomenal selections, and followed up with Goodert and Rodgers, a great start to this roster, filling 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a tight end and quarterback, followed by Damon Harris, Rondell Moore, some good upside there. Cole Beasley, Hunter Henry, Kirk Cousins, Bucks defense, Bucker, and a good little late round receiver pick in Corey Davis. So I think, once again, this is a very solid head to toe roster. May Day 27, went ahead and took that selection, had to take him. Someone had to take Christian McCaffrey, and I still think he holds first round value, so I got no beef whatsoever taking CMC there, followed by DeAndre Swift, Mike Evans, Hopkins, and Waller. Once again, fill 2 running backs, 2 receivers, and a tight end, followed by Edmonds and Devonta Smith. I mean, 2 very good flex players, bench players there, and then still got Lamar Jackson, a very, very sneaky value there in the 8th round. Melvin Gordon, Rashad Bateman, Henderson, Kmet, Folk, and the Rams defense. That's a great looking squad there. So Blackster started things off hot with Davante Adams and Tyreek Hill. I mean, you can't really, I mean, sure, some boomer bust with Hill. We don't know where Adams is going to be next year, but come on. 2 of the best receivers in the league, followed by George Kittle and Patty Mahomes. Hunt and Robinson. So you could argue the running back situation a little shaky here, but still plenty of good wide receivers to work with, to trade around with. Julio Jones, Woods, Golladay, Brown, and Anderson. Got Noah Fant to back up George Kittle, Washington football team's defense, and Younghoe Koo. A pretty solid overall squad and tons of upside at the receiver, tight end, and quarterback position. All right, Spencer. I got to take a sip of water for Spence. All right, Joe Mixon, Justin Jefferson, J.K. Dobbins, Jalen Waddle, Justin Herbert, a very good start to this roster. Late rounds got Gronk and Logan Thomas. So you've got good quarterback, 2 good tight ends, 2 good receivers, 2 running backs, really playing for upside. Looks like the approach that Spencer took the rest of this draft. You got Tyler Lockett, Adam Thielen, Chase Claypool, tons of upside in those receivers. And you've got 2 very good overall handcuff situations with ETN and Gus Edwards. And then, Deshaun Watson, I don't think Henry Ruggs going to be on a team next year, right? But at the same time, obviously, like Spencer pointed out, would have been DJ Chark. But nonetheless, a good squad overall for Spencer from head to toe. You guys did a phenomenal draft, man. This was a ton of fun. You guys did great with this, man. Thank you guys so much for getting this put together. This was an absolute freaking blast. A great, way too early 2022 fantasy football mock draft. This was a ton of fun. We're definitely going to be doing more of these throughout the offseason. This was sick, man. I'm just staring at this screen like, holy cow, man. This was awesome. Truly. Let's see, man. This year I literally had to use waivers for running back 2 all season. So using wide receiver at flex. Yeah. I'm with you, bro. I think Devante at 1.7 is kind of early. Sure. Yeah. Like I said, if you have the conviction in it, I don't mind it, assuming that Melvin Gordon is not on that team. I do think it's a little early as well. But end of the first and in the second, I think you will see that next year if Gordon's not on that team. Spencer, I really like my team. Ryan, will you guys be starting a new Catch Fam Dynasty League? We haven't talked about doing Dynasty yet, but we could definitely think about it. Spencer, I'm trying to do a Dynasty League. Okay, we can think about it for sure. All right, guys, that was an absolute blast. I hope you guys had fun doing that. We are going to wind down the stream now here at the end, but I definitely had an absolute blast doing that, man. I think I said that 20 times throughout this. We'll get more of these set up for those of you guys who didn't get to join tonight. I know that there are others of you out there who did not get to join who wanted to, so we will keep you guys posted. Guys, get in the Discord. Link is in the description. It's completely free to join, and that's kind of the best way to communicate trying to put things like this together. So make sure you guys hop in the Discord and look out for community posts for when we try to plan another one of these. But you guys killed this. This was a ton of fun, a ton of good practice way too early in the year when some of us aren't even done playing fantasy for 2021. But thank you guys so very much for doing this, man. You guys are the best, man. Love this community, love this channel, love the Catch Fam, man. This was just so much fun, man. Love doing these interactive type of streams with you guys. So thank you guys for this. Hit the like button on the way out. If you guys tuned in, you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that sub button down below. Join the Catch Fam. And if you guys watch this retrospectively, feel free to drop any comments, questions down below pertaining to the 2021 or 2022 fantasy football season. And I will get back to you as soon as I can. Hit that notification bell so you never miss any uploads or streams on the way out. I will talk to you guys all tomorrow. We will be doing our last Saturday night late stream of the 2021 fantasy football season. So thank you guys as always, man. Hit the like button, hit the sub button, join the Catch Fam, all that good stuff, man. I really do appreciate you guys. This was a ton of fun. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Got nothing else to say, but thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the Catch, and peace.